It was just I had to take a fibromyalgia nap. It was not going to happen any other way. I was tired and I kept falling, kind of not drifting to sleep. I just kept feeling on and off. I thought, okay, Mary, you got it. You got to lay down. And sure enough, I lay down about. Which I don't like to do that late, but sometimes I just have to. And I lay down at 5:30, and within minutes I was asleep. And really, I slept till about 6:55. So my body must have needed it for sure because I sure felt it. So, a couple of things. I don't know if y'all can see out there. We've got the visitors of the goose outside. Whether you can see that, well, hopefully, again, one point to fix that. Let me put this out just a little bit without dropping my juice and dropping the water. Wait a second. Dropping everything under the sun. Got 2 water bottles I need to finish. I don't know if you can see them or not, but the geese are right there. Actually, they're probably walking by our place right now. They're walking this way. But so they've been out there. You can see them now. They're walking. They've been just sitting out there on our back porch for quite a while today. It is also, and we're praying for all of the people that are affected by the wildfires out in, you can see the geese, there they go, out in Canada. But I don't know if you all can see it, but it is just, it is so thick with smoke that as an asthmatic patient, I have had to stay in, and for the foreseeable, for wherever, however long this takes to kind of get, um, aired out and so forth. I mean, you can see the haze just over here, and I'm sure it's even worse in Cleveland. Um, we've just had to kind of stay back today, and I've even opened the door just for a moment, and I'm just like, "Ah, I can't take it." Um, we had an Amazon package arrive, and it was like, no, we're staying. I'm staying right in the house. And so because of that, even if I thought about, well, it'd be nice when we go sit outside, especially with the geese just right out our door, and we sit out here and bring the Kinusaiga stuff. Can't do it. So, and they are actually really encouraging anybody that is an asthmatic that cannot, that is dealing with asthma to stay inside until all the fire and not be outside in the air because it can have a really not so great reaction to it. So if you're coming on in, type hashtag blessed in the chat to crochet that connection and connect with other people. This There's a live replay, so all of the stuff is typed. So if you put your channel in here, other people will see it when they go back and replay everything. But remember, when we go live anytime, I don't care what we're doing, this is an opportunity for you to come in and make those connections. Please make sure you're making them correctly and properly, which is mean if somebody does put their link in the chat, you want to go over. Hi, Sandy, Wendy. You want to go over to their channel and watch about 3 minutes of something video, at least 3 minutes or longer video or several shorts. Leave it, interact with that, and then hit that wonderful subscribe button. But of course, we call it connection button. Another thing too is if you're in a live and you know that you may not be able to connect right away with somebody. The other thing to do is to do a little private playlist. Um, and that way you can go over when somebody drops their link, put it in a private watch later list, and then go back and make those connections properly. So this is one of my favorite teacups. It says, I survived my daughter's wedding, and that was dang on the truth. Anybody that tries to put a wedding together, phew, survived. That was exactly the sentiment. So a couple of things I got today, and I can tell you I have not cut with them yet, but they seem very sharp. And I put these, I also added everything I showed yesterday to the merch list is actual fabric scissors. These were fabric scissors, I think, but they've really dulled over the time, and I've used them for other things beside paper. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Sandy. I thought your birthday was the 23rd. Because I know I said my mother's birthday was the 23rd. But happy birthday. Please go over and subscribe to I'm out to lunch. Subscribe to my wonderful friend and moderator, one of them, Sandy. Happy birthday. I will not sing happy birthday. You don't want to hear this girl sing happy birthday. But anyway, these are going to be used. Hi, Velvet. Welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed if you want people to connect with your channel. These are going to be retired for cutting with paper. That's about all they're good for. They don't do good cutting fabric. When you're cutting the basis of the fabric, these are tailor scissors, so I'm sure that they're done by Mr. Penn. We'll give them a try. They weren't that expensive, but these are going to be used to do the thing. They look very sharp. We got our so we'll start getting out our supplies for Kinusaiga. Just because I'm doing Kinusaiga. Hi, is it Charlo? Hopefully I said that right. I have dyslexia, so I do my best with names, but um hopefully I said that right. I do my best with names, but sometimes they don't always come out the greatest. I do my best, but I try to read them as best I can. Oh, but I updated the fabric list. I put everything that we received on the fabric, or everything that we got yesterday that came in on the fabric list. So that's there. And I also got these today, and I'm going to order. We weren't sure if we were going to. Yes. I wasn't sure. Hi, Ashley. Welcome on in. I wasn't quite sure if we were going to use um use. I'll get my words right in a minute, guys. I promise. Um, if we were going to use these or not, what size they were, because they said they were 3 millimeter. But we were probably going to order the other pack that we were kind of considering ordering, because it has 3, 4, 5, and 6 of eyes. I did not want googly eyes for these projects. That's fine if you want to use them. It seems to be all we can find in the stores. But we're probably going to the other pack. Did you ever have children or grandchildren collect Yukon on before? No, I've never. No. I have not. So anyway, I'm probably gonna order that thing. The only thing about those, and I did put both of those eyes in the fabric list, is, and that's on our link tree too. If people are wondering the supplies we're using for Kinusaiga, and if people aren't familiar with Kinusaiga is where you take fabric scraps and you place them into um, uh, insulated board, which is what this is, not styrofoam, insulated board. Very different, and styrofoam cannot hold up to what it is. Doesn't have enough strength. This is one we did very recently. Is our American flag. This pattern I am finishing. Um, I'm finishing this one so that we can get this framed. We're working on getting the miter saw here so we can make the cuts for the wood sticks. But then I'm also finishing this pattern so I could put it up. It's going to be $3 underneath our merch store. Um, it's going to be $3 because we're going to do two different patterns, one with the flowers and one without, so that people can choose. So they'll have two different patterns with the one. Yeah, get that right. So anyway, that's the one of the ones we did. Very proud of that one. Love that one. And so we are finishing our goose. But I did get our eyes in, and if you wanted to get googly eyes, you can go get googly eyes. Not Amazon. Hobby Lobby has felt eyes. You can use felt eyes if you want. But I thought this is just such an elegant. I mean, it's not elegant, but it's artwork, and there's nothing wrong with the googly eyes. But I just kind of felt like it was a little bit of just kind of more like a child's project than it was kind of an adult project. And I just didn't feel like it was. I just looked at them going, they just don't look right to me. So these are 3 millimeter. I'm probably going to order the other set. I probably won't use all the colors. I think there's blue in there, there's yellow, there's green, there's different ones, but they're different sizes. They have 3, 4, 5, and 6. I probably won't use all of them and so forth, and I'm probably going to go back and eventually order these in 5 and 6 millimeter. But if we order the other size, I think they're like $11, and there's a lot of eyes. We're going to be here a long time with these. If you order the other one, if we order that one first, we'll have a much better idea of the size, so we know better than this. We had really no idea. But for this little guy, and this is where your tweezers can come in very handy. Possibly. Of course, now I stuck it down there. Nope, that's not going to work like that. Okay. Well, we got to do it a different way. Anyway, because we'll be gluing this down eventually when we're done. There we go. So eventually we'll be gluing it down. I'm not going to glue it down now, but eventually we will be. But I don't know if you can see the difference. So eventually we'll be putting on demise and giving this one a personality. Now you can also make fabric out of the eyes and go ahead and use the fabric to make the eyes. I didn't want to be doing that on this pattern, so I chose not to. Um, but anyway, there is what eventually will be. I won't put them down right now because we're going to be still messing around with the pattern. But that's what the eyes are going to be. Is these, and they're kind of, I don't know if you can see them. They're actually what you use to make lures for fish. That's what you use. I thought for some reason it wasn't moving. Eventually will be. I will put them down right now. So anyway, they're kind of like the lures, and you make the fish with them, and they're just so much better. But I think it's the perfect size for the goose, and it's not in the perfect position. I have it right now. It's just enough. But for instance, for our, it's not the right size for the fish that we've done. We're working on, and I'll show you that in a minute. Fish with them, and they're just so much better. But I think it's the perfect size. It just looks very, very disproportionate. If you can see, it's not the right size for the fish. So for the fish, it's just not right. And another thing, I do not want the eyes to be the center of attention. I want the fabric to be the center of attention. So whatever I get for the eyes, I don't want to be like a big draw to it. I don't want it to be something. I want it to blend in, and I want the center of attention to be with the fabric itself, because that's the star of the show. So we will get the other one, the other size, the variety pack of the other size. So then that way we have um, different sizes. And then that way we also get to see what the 5 and the 6 looks like. Eventually we'll use them. And then I think what I will do once I get those is I may end up still ordering these, which is the white ones, that's in the link tree in our merch store. I probably am going to go ahead and eventually order either the 5 or 6 or both of them in these two as well. Because it seems to be Walmart, you go to Hobby Lobby. I only have googly eyes. They don't have these. So I'm sure you can get it on, I'm going to say it wrong. I say it as ST. I'm sure you can get it from there. But anyway, so these will take us a while to go through. But for this one, for the goose, it's perfect. And if we ever do sell a kit for this goose, these will be plenty that we would be putting with the kit, so people would have the eyes for the kit to go along with the kit. So, just trying to put this back on the thing. I mean, I would not just stick these on using the adhesive that comes with this. I would absolutely, I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to use to put these on when it's time. I tell you, it won't go anyplace. And this is in our link tree too under our shop place. Is this B7000. I would absolutely 100% use this for you have to when you have to get your when you have to put those down. This is exactly what I would use. That's specifically for that. And it's a very fine tip. I wouldn't even use the fabric glue. I would use that. So anyway, we have our eyes for at least this project. Like I said, I'm probably going to go ahead and order the other ones just on the offset chance that I'm going to get them. I'll see then. Because when we open these, we looked and goes, that's 3mm or 4mm. And so it'll give us a better idea of what the 4mm and 3mm looks like. It'll give us a couple extra colors if we choose to use them. But then I'll probably grow our collection in the 4 and 5s of these ones to it as well. And we'll have plenty of eyes for a while because we have to give Mocha eyes, right? So anyway, if people are new to this channel and they have never been here before, we're a channel that absolutely connects and grows. We're a channel that really focuses on people coming on in, connecting with each other, no matter what we're doing. That's the whole point of why we do what we do. We do it so that you guys have an ability to come in and connect. And again, I thought about going outside. Not happening. It's way too smoky for it. Very, very smoky out. I don't know if y'all can see, but looks like just it's not good for people that are dealing with asthmatic conditions. Oh, I also put this on the fabric list too. All right, let's get rocking and rolling with Kinusaiga and get tucking fabric. I'm going to finish my tea before I move on to having to use the spray because I really don't want the spray in my tea. I may need the water for that. I have a little cap. Sometimes I just need to fill up a little bit of water. You have a little bit extra leftover residue of the glue. You could get clear glue, but then you kind of not know where you're going to put it or where you're going to see it. In my juice today, I have tomato, carrot, These little red ones that are down here on the bottom is tomato, carrot, spinach, and celery. There's kale and apple, strawberry, and the rest are watermelon. So we'll let that sit and get happy. And eventually I'll have my juice for the day and get back to it. I give myself a break every couple of days. But we got Mr. Lester Crochet's juice is getting all undone. All thing. We do our juice and ice cube trays, and then that way I just make my cocktail, what I'm gonna have when I'm ready to have it. And then it's a great solution because then you get your fruits and vegetables on sale when you're going to get them. So this is a great solution if you have to use a little bit of glue in areas and you get a little residue, on which I did on this one. Just go and use some water. I don't notice it on the lights. I notice it on the darks, on the dark parts. But you can get clear fabric glue. The only problem with that is you're not quite sure where you put it. At least when you put the white down, you kind of, for a moment, see that it's going in the spot you had designated for. But use a little bit of water. And like we try to tell everybody, you're not here to be perfect. You're just here to create. And whatever you do is beautiful. And if you're learning Kinusaiga, it takes a little bit of time. Christina already is ready. That's my daughter. She's ready for her next project. So I'm gonna finish this. You better bring your fabric to church and another pattern because I want to start working on another one. I'm like, I am so glad that she's enjoying it. She called me this morning. We talked and we're talking, texting back and forth with ideas. And I've got an idea for this, and I want to do this, and she wants to do Scooby Doo, and I'm like, amongst other things. So I'm like, I'm just thrilled to death. So anyway, but just because we're doing this does not mean that I'm gonna finish over here before I start having to finish the sun rays because I'd like to finish my tea before I'm starting to spray that stuff. Um, just because we're working on this doesn't mean that it shouldn't come in because it's not about this. It's about you guys building those connections, talking with us, talking with each other, and building community. That's what it's all about. It's a blessed to crochet from day one and uh, will always be. So I'll try my new scissors out. If you have fabric scissors, like I won't use this for any other thing but fabric. And I'll keep those other purple scissors for paper. I had fabric scissors, but they literally broke. But it's because they were around for a while. So these are, we'll see if I prove. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're a little stiff, but they're better than my other ones as far as cutting fabric. They're a little stiff, so I think that they'll just take time. You can get other brands, but those were just. I don't need an expensive brand to cut this fabric. I'm not doing it. I just need to cut it on a bigger scale than using these tiny scissors to do that with. So, so they're a little on the stiff side, but that's because they're also brand new. So have you done anything special, Sandy, for your birthday today? To celebrate? I haven't done much. I've done much. I've gotten the shout outs are coming out. Those are now up to date. The recaps are up. I got a couple shout outs scheduled for the rest of the week. I was going to work on the flag pattern this afternoon, so that was up for y'all. And I said to Josh, I have got to lay down for a little bit. I'm really tired. Sure enough, I was asleep in no time. So I must have needed it. To put a little bit of, I said, just have a little water. Doesn't take much. If you notice a little bit of glue that did it, I'd wait till the area is dry, but it does help to just clean it up. It doesn't hurt the foam board underneath and it doesn't hurt the glue. It just helps to kind of, you know. Another one I'd like to do is an Amish buggy. I figure that would be very fitting. It's another pattern I want to work on as a horse and buggy. I've got a scarecrow that I kind of started today. Got a cute little pumpkin um, that we're going to have to probably test out early because if we do those classes at that place, I've got to know exactly how much fabric I'm going to need. So that I can put it in the list. And I got to email her today or tomorrow. So, and I've got to know how much and do the pattern and all that kind of stuff. It's not, he said, well, put the pattern together and then people could buy the pattern. I'm like, well, it's not really something. I'll have to explain it to the lady and see if it's something they would be interested in doing because it's not something that, they'll have the pattern after the class because they taught the class so they can use it again. But they'll have like a master pattern that they could take and certainly use. But actually, probably what I'll have to do for them is give them the pattern or be able to put it on the website and give them a special code. That's probably what I'm going to have to do because they'll have purchased the pattern. I can give them a pattern, but then they could go on our fourth wall store and I could give them a code. And something, I'll figure something out. Or I could email them, and that way they would have it digitally too. If they wanted to redo it, they just couldn't, sell it or anything like that. But then they could have it. They would like to download it again and resize it for something different. So I've got one started, but I can kind of figure out. I have to reglue that part again. It's a little bit. Yep, it was the way it was, and I didn't realize it when I was kind of cleaning up the area. It's okay. We will We will fix it on up. Yep, it's going to have to be. That's why you have the glue on hand. Sometimes you have a couple areas that you have to kind of work on. And I don't notice sometimes the white glue on any other, like it coming through other than dark colors. On the others, I just don't notice it. But it works. I don't notice it. But it's if you clean it up, it's not that bad. It's just I just kind of may have to, don't want to take that piece out, but of course I think we'll get it after this. Just putting a little bit more glue down there because I just didn't realize that I had gotten it. Don't notice it on the lighter parts. I notice it on the darker parts. And if you do a really good job making sure that you clean up and only put it where you need it, that's why having the white is so helpful, because you get to see. Or if you put the clear down, you're not going to be able to see, because then I know exactly where I kind of need to go in and clear up. I think I fixed it. Hopefully. Sometimes you have to leave it and then move on and come back to it. But, I don't know if it's smoky where anybody else is, but it is smoky, smoky, smoky. And I was thinking, I thought, oh, we could step outside maybe. I don't know what the weather is, but I cannot do it, unfortunately. My allergies would have a fit. We're really saying everybody that has any kind of asthma needs to be staying inside. So it's what, 79 degrees. It would have been beautiful. But it even says conditions are hazy with a temperature of 79. So it'd have been nice outside now, because of course the sun's set, but or it's the sun's gone down. But not my ability to do. I'm very, very sensitive to all that. I can be around a campfire, but I have to make sure that the campfire is not coming in my direction, because I don't handle all that either well. Hi, Blonde. Welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat. We have a visitor with us. For those that don't know, this water bottles do not stay. We have a visitor. For those that don't know, this is our dog. This is our Staffy. She has lately loved to come up on the bed that we have over here in our little Kinusaiga corner. That is Mocha. And she likes to come and enjoy our crafting with us. And I think she likes to look out the window. Because unfortunately, she can't go for a walk either today. She's also has a little sensitivity to allergies. And I don't think anybody's really going outside much. Yeah. When we were living in the house in Cincinnati before we moved, we had a neighbor that did beautiful quilts. Not my doing. This is about the only thing you're going to see me working on with fabric. And she did beautiful quilts, and she gave that to us before we came and moved up here. So she did a beautiful job. I've always admired everybody that quilts. It's not my forte, tell you that. But she had a whole sewing room in her house, and she came by and gave us that. So we put it on the bed. But She likes to come up and enjoy quilting, doing Kinusaiga with us. So she'll come up, and she likes a lot of company. She would not be the kind of dog that would be really good. First of all, every time we leave, for her own protection, she's crated. I would not trust her to be on her own by herself without being crated. Um, she gets in too much trouble. And she deals with some separation anxiety. Um, so she's best crated when we leave. But she is very much a dog that loves people. And yes, this is our Goose. We got the eyes in today. This is our flag that we done. We're just waiting on getting what is it? Getting a miter saw so we can cut the wood slots for the frame, because we're gonna use paint sticks for those. So they're gonna be like this, but we got a miter little tool, it didn't work. So we're gonna use the paint sticks for the side of the frame. We've also been working with cardstock to use for frames. This is another one we're currently working on Facebook. Is our fish. Uh, I have so many projects in my head. It's not even funny. They're just there. There's a lot of projects that I've got floating on in this head that we want to do and test and give people the ability to download them and use them for themselves. So this will be available very soon on the merch store. Um, very, very soon. Next couple of days. There'll be two patterns. Usually our patterns run at $2. This one's going to be $3 because we're going to offer two patterns. One with the flowers and one without. Because not everybody's going to want to deal with those flowers. I'm modifying the flowers a little bit. And if I was everybody, I would just go ahead and use string for I put the tops on the flowers, and then I would use string for the stems. Just use thread or yarn, thin yarn. I wouldn't even bother doing them, but I will put them in there with a suggestion. And for the stems, you could use green cord. You could use very thin crochet thread. You could use very thin green ribbon. You can use a lot of things. You wouldn't have to sit there and do that if you didn't want to make those stems for it. But that's all up to the artist that gets it. But we have to test out each pattern before we put it up on the merch store, because like with this pattern, this is a great Goose, but I've had to make some modifications already, and changes, and certain places that we weren't intending for a cut to happen needs to have a cut to it. And so it's very important that we test so that when we release them as workable patterns. And still, guys, even if you get the pattern, please feel free that if you need to make a cut someplace and it looks good and it works, and we didn't put it in, or you don't want to do something on the pattern, like you wouldn't necessarily have to do the glass. It's right here. You could just make this one piece. You could still modify it a little bit. It still would be our pattern, but you could modify it to be something that you want it to be. I don't want to ever stop anybody's creativity. Got another one I want to work on next week. It's teapots, teacups. So we're just rocking and rolling with this whole thing. That's for sure. And I thought I wanted to get done with the green and give myself an opportunity. to finish my tea before I started using the other stuff, because then I got to start spraying to put them two fabrics together. I'm so glad. Excuse me. We went out yesterday and not today because it was not going to be a good day to be out. They showed a picture of Niagara Falls. So it's terrible out there. But you can, I don't know if y'all can see it. It's very, very, very hazy outside. Said, now if you have asthma, stay inside. That was the instructions, because it's not really good to be outside today. Well, that's what I've done. I just opened the door because we got the eyes in from Amazon. Sounds really weird. We got the scissors from Amazon and the eyes today from Amazon. And my mother went out. She goes, just from the time she went out to go to the store real quick, she said it was worse when she came out of Kroger's than when she went in. So he probably won't be going anyplace for the next couple of days. We'll let this all die down. 'Cause I hated to lay down for a nap, but I just needed it. Oh, I'm getting so sleepy. Hi, Flo Farm. Welcome on in. Yes, we are working for those people that are coming in. You also can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. We are working on a new art form that I have just fallen in love with. Not only I have fallen in love with, but some of our community members have fallen in love with. My daughter has fallen in love with doing it. She's going to start eventually coming on with me and doing patterns together, which will be fun. And I'll go on any place to show them how to do it. It's very therapeutic. But it's called Kinusaiga, and it's where you take fabric and you put it into foam board. This was our flag that we did recently. Hi, the stats. Welcome on in. You'll probably know this. Notice the stats. I did. It's 8 o'clock already. At 8 o'clock on both channels, on Blessings Through Connection and Blessed to Crochet, I put out the recap for what should have been out on Monday today, so it's all caught up for sure. But we did it, and that pattern's coming out very soon. Yes, it's called King the Saga, and I love it because you don't have to sew, and I'm very thankful. There's no sewing required, and I am not someone that actually enjoys sewing. I don't like it. So this is one we did, and this is the first one we did, which is always available free. It will always say a free pattern because it was the first one. That's the rose we did. So, but yes. Yeah. Oh, it is. I'm telling you, my daughter is hooked, and it didn't take her very long. Yeah, it should be out at 8 o'clock. There'll be a recap. What we do is for us, we do the shout outs daily. So you get a shout out. And then if I'm on task every Monday at 8 p.m., we take the previous week's shout outs and we put them all in a recap short and we put that up. So it's kind of like you guys get, if you've gotten a shout out that week, you've gotten double you've gotten kind of a recap and another shout out in a way. We go through that weeks and we get all the shout outs together and we put them in a recap so that you guys are getting a little bit more exposure for the week. So that should be out at 8 o'clock on both channels. And now I'm caught up with those for now. That this is done in insulated board. You're not doing it in foam or styrofoam. Styrofoam does not have the hold. This is the insulated board. That's good. Sometimes we need that. Um, Insulated board that you get from your home improvement store. Polystyrene. This is the product list that we're using. Um, but that's what you're using. You're using the stuff that the Pink Panther. You're looking, and Amazon or not Amazon. Lowe's has different brand from the Pink Panther one. But this is what it is. You don't want to use styrofoam when you're doing this. You can see me just punching on this is giving it divots. And the styrofoam's not going to give you enough support. So that's what you use for it. And you can get 2-inch by 2-inch product boards for about $8. We've got several out of just one board. You can go to Home Depot and get a big panel board for $28, which we have to do coming up here. Um, people are. This is great for people that are quilters that have leftover scrap fabric. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have scrap fabric, reach out to your community. There may be somebody in your community. There are Facebook on the Bookface groups that have community. There's the neighborhood app. Maybe somebody in your community is a quilter and they have leftover fabric scraps. I would probably say cotton would be the easiest thing to work with. This was developed in the 1980s by a Japanese artist that was trying to preserve the kimonos that could no longer be worn. And they originally were putting them in wood slats, wood and cutting slats in the wood versus using it in this. But it is just very therapeutic, very relaxing. And you use this 3M tape. And the first thing you're doing is you're taking your pattern and you're putting it down like this. Well, first you're putting this 3M sticky stuff on. Comes in sheets, but we've increased to rolls. So you take that, you put that down, and that's a double-sided stick. And then you put your fabric or your pattern down, and you take your knife and you cut all around, and then you start working from it from there. And like I said, this one's I gotta make some corrections, and I gotta pull the flag out. Make that too. And we've just started literally down this path, and sometimes in life we are asked to go on a path. I mean, I remember yesterday, yeah. And I just went to the fabric store. I got some fabric. I was blessed with some fabric. Um, and by my husband because it's my anniversary. On the 21st. I didn't get much. I just got a little bit. And I just was in the car and I thought, I wasn't supposed to go down this route. I'm supposed to be crochet. But this has taken a whole thing. I'm also working on. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm also working. Well, you know what? I think this is anybody can do this, honestly. Anybody can. My daughter came over on Tuesday and she wanted to learn how to do it. I showed her one area, and this is the pattern she's working in. It's something with airbender that she's doing an amazing job. And it's not an easy pattern. That's the one she's working on that I did for her. And she started over here. No, over here. She just started here. And then she started in, and I mean, she said, Mom, I'm hooked. I mean, literally within a couple pieces, she goes, I'm done. And the next morning she had this done. She had this part done. She has this all done. I can't wait to show you her work because it's amazing. But I got this little thing recently, and I actually have a pattern coming out with this object on it. And I can't say enough about this craft when I say the journey awakens the soul. This has been an unexpected journey. I found this a couple weeks ago as I was going through Facebook Reels about a month ago. And I'm on a journey. I don't quite know where this is going to take us. I see us. Yep. I love people that quote. I just don't. It was not made by me. I love people that quote. I love watching people make quotes. I don't like sewing. This is no sewing required. Um, None. And we're gonna put little glass eyes. I've got little eyes in there for that. I got today. And what I try to tell people is you do not need to buy a yard of a piece of fabric because you're gonna spend a while getting through it and so forth. I bought fabric yesterday. You can go into a fabric store. We have a wonderful fabric store by where we live. And as we grow, we do patterns and possibly sell patterns. We'll be sourcing our fabric from there. It's an amazing store. I've done a short on it. This is just a fat or eighth quarter. This cost me $1.98. There's going to be a lot of stuff before we get done with this little piece of fabric. You do not need a ton of fabric. Where you want to get and spend your money in buying a yard of fabric, right, is in your solid fabric because that'll go with about anything. And then if you can use that. Like I got this from that same fabric store. This was $7.98 per yard. I got one fourth just to see the quality of it. But this is where you want to spend your yardage on, or going to Hobby Lobby after you saw that fabric store. It's like Hobby Lobby. Um, it's just their department's so small. But you want to go look at their remnant section. I did get this from the same craft store, same fabric store where we're going to be sourcing all our fabric from, and it's an Amish run store. This is one fourth of the yard, and this is where I would probably buy at least a yard of this and kind of bend the exception of that, even though it's a print, because and I have several colors in this. I want to go back and get all the colors they have in this one. But this is two-tone fabric, okay? And you have to understand if you get a half a yard or you get a yard of this fabric, you're really getting a half a yard of this and a half a yard of this. And this way, if you do a pattern, and it's really a beautiful, really beautiful, beautiful purple. If you're doing a pattern and you have to need a darker and lighter, you already have a coordinating fabric it's going to go well together. Or if you're doing like a mountain and you want this to be the top of the sky part and you wanted this to be the mountain, you already kind of have the mountain right there. So for this, I would absolutely go and buy at least a yard of this because really you're getting two for the price of one. And I got this color. I got just one fourth because I wanted to show everybody because I had talked about this fabric. This color, it's gorgeous. If you were doing stones and you wanted a darker stone and then a lighter stone, you got that. This is a gray and then a beautiful red. So I'm going back to get every color they have of this. I want every color in this. But for this, you've got two tones that coordinate with each other. So you're really getting two for the price of one. So it's an amazing fabric shop. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And for that one, I would be writing down the brand name in case they don't carry it anymore at the shop there that they have. Discontinue it or something at that specific shop, I would have the name so I could find it again. So for something like that, I'm going to put it in my notes so I know exactly where to go if they don't carry it anymore at my local shop. I could go on the interwebs and do it. I'm almost done with my tea. I need to see. Let's work here for a second. I need to see if I need to do the same thing. I don't think I'm going to need to do it with the sky, but we're going to see if I need to double layer it. Sometimes if your fabric's thin, sometimes it's requiring a double layer, like it is with the sun over here. We're just having to put a little bit of white, and I need to go get. That's without it being layered. I need to go find a couple yards of um, really thin white at that place. So you all tell me this is doing a double layer. Sometimes it needs it, sometimes it don't. I don't know if it really makes that much difference. I don't think so. Now let's go ahead and put without it, and then I don't think it makes much difference. And then I'll see if I need to pull it out, I will, but I don't think I'm going to need to do it with this. The sun was an absolute must. That had to be done in double layer because of the material was thin, but I don't think I'm going to need to do it with this. And I do have a little container right here that I just open up. Oops. I open up. And if I have these little tiny scraps, I may have to go through this and clean this out eventually. But if I have little scraps that just cut off, and I think I maybe be able to use that in a pinch, I kind of throw them in here, and then I can always pull this out and see if I need to use it. So I kind of have that if I've cut the fabric a little bit too big. You can also take these little 3M things off, and you can go ahead and put them to the fabric. My daughter likes to do it that way. I just like to put it on and go. I'm not one that wants to sit there. Are people that do that. And I think in some instance it does. I've noticed that if it's a curve or a tight spot that I need to do it with, I do take that extra little step. But I've also found out just putting the fabric on, cutting it, giving yourself a little bit of an estimate. I'd probably say if you're starting, do more fabric than you think you need, because this way you're learning and then you waste a little fabric. You know, it's just, I find it easier to just put it on. Like this, I'm not going to be able to use. But I found out, when I first started, I didn't want to waste hardly any. Now I'm like, if I waste a little bit, it's okay. Welcome in, Rebecca. And Rebecca was one of our people that also got a shout out last week, so she's in the recap this week. They're finally all caught up. I was like, I usually get up and have my coffee and crochet, and I did not allow myself to crochet today until I finished that recap and got that all caught up. But our Our goose is coming along. Yeah, I think I made the right decision not to double layer that because I didn't want it to be too. I wanted it to be soft and not too. I wanted it to be bright. Yeah, I wanted it to be blue, but I didn't want it to be overtake either. The sun absolutely had to be double layered. So I haven't given up crochet at all, but I just made myself say, Mary, you've got to buckle down and get it all caught up because if you don't, it's going to be down the road and you're going to regret it. Yep. Well, we like I said, we do the shout outs. And if anybody can help with watch list and just watching our stuff, we are sitting at 26, 23, something like that. Don't quote me, guys. Today, and I'm pointing you to look at Mocha. She's looking out the window. We're there, but anybody that can just watch anything of ours, we would appreciate it. So we can celebrate getting back to monetization very, very soon. We're hoping for that. We want to get back to there. Um, uh, but we do our shout outs once a day. And yes, we use Chat GPT. We give them what your description of your channel. It's kind of, I mean, we hope we do it accurately enough to what your channel is. It's why it's really important if you don't have a description of your channel, you take a moment and put a description of your channel. Because not only do I feed that into Chat GPT and say, okay, do it for this channel, and I put in your YouTube, link, like HTTP whatever it is with W with your channel name. I also go and I pull up your description and I put it in there. So it gives even more information. And then hopefully we create enough of a shout out to be accurate for you. And we do that daily. So everybody has their own individual shout out at 12 o'clock or around 12 o'clock every day. And then we're getting back to on Mondays giving out the shout out. We gather all the previous week's shout outs, put them all together in our theme song for both Blessing and Connection and Blessed to Crochet. And we put them in a recap. So then people can watch that short and we tag your channel and then it goes through and tells people what the shout outs for the entire week were. So it's like you're getting it a two round. Yeah. I won't. Thank you very much. I will absolutely do that, Blonde. I will start doing that tomorrow. Well, thank you. Yeah. I just I I have them ready to go in Canva and I just plop them in. I don't change them every week. I can't do that. It's too much. But I just take the pictures and I plop them in and then what we also do is in the recap shout outs is we also do like and if anybody wants those the ones that we do the ones that kind of fit in the community post and then we have ones that are more like a short length that describes your channel even more in our recaps. If anybody wants those, all they have to do is email us and we will send them that for sure. We just ask if you use it in your any of your stuff, you just give us just credit for designing it. But if anybody wants theirs that we've done in the recap, your longer version of what their channel is all about, just email me and we'll get it to you. Again, we just ask you give us credit. So we do that. And so we do it two different ways. And I started doing it when we had when I did the community song and I wish I could have put everybody that has subscribed to our channel. I just couldn't. But I put it in there and I love the long version of the short description. Yeah. So again, I did one for you, Flow Farm, too. So if anybody wants it, just email it, and we'll send you both your both. Well, we won't send you the Let's Take a Break and the Chant the Other, but we'll send you the short version of it, the longer version. I have no problem doing it. I just ask to get credit where credit's due. It's the only thing I ask. It's like these patterns. I have no problem with people buying the pattern and saying and doing it on, and I'll come on with you if y'all want me to, if you're doing it. I have no problem with anybody doing it. I just ask that they don't claim the pattern as their own, and they please give us credit and direct people to our YouTube channel and let them know where they can get the pattern. I have no problem with anybody taking these patterns and using them in their social media. No problem. What I do have a problem with is people taking in their social media and claiming the pattern as their own, or taking this pattern and modifying it and saying, okay, then it's mine. I don't yet, but well, if you need any help, let me know and reach out to me. I'd be glad to assist if I can help. Um, you know, eventually, and there's people that do sell patterns on ST. I know I say it wrong, guys. I have dyslexia, and I'm not kidding about that's truth. Um, and so sometimes words just don't come out like they're supposed to. Eventually, we're going to be in the position of selling kits, having patterns on there as well. My daughter wants to start going to craft shows and doing these and selling them. Um, we are going to, if we do a test pattern like this on here, and anybody would like to purchase the one that's here, that certainly can be arranged. So, know where this is going to take us, but I must be good at it. My daughter said to me, because I taught her very quickly, and she just got it. She goes, Mom, you do a very good job of teaching how to do this. She's off to the races. I could not believe it. And I met a gentleman in the Walmart, and he was an artist, and he was asking me about some kind of something or other he was trying to get for his wife in the sewing department. So have you ever used this? Yeah. Um, if and I said no, and I showed him what I was doing, what I was looking for, and he's an artist where he paints, and I showed him the work I did. I showed him the flag and the other, and he goes, "Are you selling those yet?" I said, "No, not yet." He said, "Well, you need to," because he said that is beautiful. And no, I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better at each one I do. And this is I've only done 5 of these. I thought got to keep a tally so I know exactly how many I've done. So, but I'm just learning. But I think anybody could pick this up. It's not that difficult. Use a seam ripper. And I also think that we are so conditioned to having everything off of an assembly line that looks perfect. Shirts look perfect and this looks perfect. And, you know, there is no way, I don't care how much I try, without taking this and having a machine do it, which is almost impossible, nor would I want that. For anybody to do this and have it be perfect, it's not going to happen. You want those little mistakes and those little imperfections so it doesn't look perfect. You can't have things look perfect like this. They're not going to, but we are so used to being in a world that everything's perfect and everything is done in a way that's perfect. I mean, I'd like for it to be perfect, and I'm very critical of myself when it comes to this stuff. Very critical. I want everything to look perfect. I don't want any edges to be frayed. That's why I secure it with the glue if I have any issues. I want everything to be tucked in, but I can't have everything perfect. It's not going to happen. I think we're just so used to perfection. Everything is off an assembly line and made by machines. So I used to tell people way back when I worked in an auto dealership, and that was just a little water. It helps if I get a little bit extra glue where I don't want it. It just gets rid of it. I only notice it on the darker colors, not on the lighter. If I get a little glue, it's the only place I notice it. Um, and they would get all upset because they would come in. Of course, they rightfully so. They bought a new car. They want it to be perfect. They don't expect any problems. And maybe 3 weeks down the road, they'd have a problem here and there with something. And they would get all upset and all heated. And I would just calm them down and I would say, listen, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I got a secret, you know? And I'd say, I understand that you are upset. You have every right. You bought a car. You want it to be right and having no problems and expect it. They're going to fix it. They're going to get the problem all situated and you're going to go away with everything taken care of, right? I said, but remember something. I was trying to figure out what was laying in the bed. Yeah, it's our dog. I just love the duck. I have a bag of pirate material I need to slay with. Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh my goodness. I think he's trying to get away from all the smoke. Yep. And I would just tell people, I say, just realize the cars were put together by machines that were made by humans. So I said, the machines are not going to be perfect because the humans made the machines and there are going to be flaws in them. So don't try to make this perfect. You're not going to make it perfect. I try. I go over things that I should just leave. But you're not going to be perfect. Don't try to make it perfect and so forth. And I'm very careful, I will say, how I use ChatGPT. Um I use it I I have dyslexia and I've had it for since I was young. Didn't realize wasn't diagnosed properly. So sometimes I need help with I can bet I'm better off speaking words into something and have it, be able to fix my errors and I can speak what I know I want to say, but writing it is sometimes difficult. So I can do it much better in speaking terms. I've noticed that it helps with putting our thumbnails together. It's real easy when I need to put a thumbnail together real quick versus me trying to put it together in Canva and spending, a couple, half an hour trying to put it together. I'm very careful how I do Chat GPT and how I use Chat GPT. I think you have to be. I can say that sometimes when I need patterns and ideas for um, this Kinusaiga, I'm not a drawer by any stretch of the means. No, it's a staffy. Yep. Um, when I have to, when I have to start a pattern, I don't draw and I can't do it very well. When I start a Kinusaiga pattern or I need an idea, and I still take it into Canva, put my own take on it, make little cuts, and know where I need to do things. I'll sit there and say, okay, give me a pumpkin. It'll produce a pumpkin. I need for it to do this or whatever it is. But then I'm taking it like this flag. When it first started, it gave me the flag, right? We did this flag and it gave me the flag. But I had to decide where the cuts needed to be with the clouds, and like the flowers that it gave me, they were almost impossible for me to do on a Kinusaiga project. So I designed the flowers. I still need to redesign them, but I've decided how to do that. With the goose, I've done the same thing. It got me started, but it's not where I ended up. You know, it just got me started down the path, but it's not where I ended up, if that makes any sense. So I'm very careful. Um, where I'm in a Kinasaga group in the book face, and you're not allowed to put any patterns up that have been AI generated. But you know, I'm very careful that I try to make it as much mine as I can. It just gets me an idea, gives me an idea of what it's going to look like. Um, for instance, and it probably wouldn't be one I would put in the Facebook group, but I really wanted to do our church. Okay. Well, thank you. I wanted to take our church building and do it as a Kinasaga project. And so I took a picture of our church and I put it in Chat GPT and I said, okay, make me a Kinasaga out of this. And I still have made modifications to it. And it's going to be awesome to do. And I want to give it to our church. I want to frame it and put it in our church. But I'm very careful how I use Chat GPT. I think you have to in today's world. I think where I have a problem with Chat GPT is when we have people using it and, you know, they're not putting their own personal spin on it, you know? They're writing scripts and it's all this and that. They're not putting their own personal touches on it, and they're not allowing yourself to be human, and so forth. And that's what I said. It's like this. It's like there's no way to take this art form and put it on any machine and do it. You have to sit and do it, and you have to realize you're going to make mistakes, and things aren't going to be perfect, and fabric's going to be wrinkled a little bit. Guess what? I'm almost done with my tea. Leave the wrinkles in there, leave the imperfections in there, because that shows that some human hands touched it. Okay, well, thank you, Flow Farm, for coming on in. Some of the patterns Christina wants to do, I can't do them through Chat GPT because she wants to do more of a fandom based one, where it's like Scooby Doo and stuff that she can't. We can't sell those patterns, but she wants to be able to sell the finished work. And so I have to kind of get them in a different way and modify them from there. So anyway, I'm just very careful, very, very careful how I shaking up my piece. So it's not the outside. I'm just very careful how I use it. I'm very careful, you know. I think we have to be. I think we have to use it, but with caution. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I absolutely 100% agree. I think we have to go with caution. We have to use it. Um, we have to use it carefully. I think it has to be done with some caution. And I think with anything in life, we should be running with caution on it. I mean, I use it. Um, I have to admit that they have this thing, and it's called, I can't remember what it's called, Tubi or something like that. I said, I've just got to try this because, and see what this about. But it's an AI generated thing where it talks to you and you can talk into it and it is your, friend, and you talk through things. And I tried it for just like 24 hours because I just wanted to try it. And when I got done with it, you know, and I used up my credits for whatever, I'm thinking, I am not going to pay this thing. I don't know how much the cost was a month or something. I'm not $10. I'm not paying this thing $10 a month. I've got friends. I don't need to pay this thing $10 a month. And I think that things like that's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, we just have to, yeah. Well, I use Google too. I don't. I think we have to do our best to preserve our resources. Absolutely, our Earth is precious, and we have to preserve the resources that we have in front of us and that we're responsible for. Absolutely. Um, you know, I do my best. I'm just, I'll tell you where I kind of get a little bit annoyed from the perspective. Things like, for instance, um, where I think we have to be very cautious, and you can believe whatever you can believe. You can believe in Jesus or not. I don't like to go into religious on this channel. If we do anything like that, we do everything via video, so people that want to watch it can watch it. What I really find somewhat of, and this is this basting adhesive. And so this is very thin. So if I was to put that on there, you can see the difference between where we put the white, very thin fabric, and I've got to get some more plain white thin fabric. And then we did that. You can see it's not as clean and crisp. So it's a solution for when you're dealing with thinner fabric, is using that basting thing and just putting it together. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't do a lot of redoing pictures and all that kind of stuff. I don't. I can't. I have to admit, I do use a little bit of it. Well, I start out looking for pictures or coloring book images, um, and stained glass one images through looking through Google. I start there first. That's my first thing, and then I go from there. Um, I don't do a lot of redo. I find Chat GPT, when you put people's pictures in, if you don't tell it to not alter the pictures, it can come out with some crazy looks to it. And I just have a real problem. Where I have a problem with is when you have pastors taking Chat GPT and using it to do their sermons. That's where I go, no, no, do it how you feel. That's where I think when we start doing that kind of stuff, because then it's not they're not doing their own little research from the Bible. It's not. That's where I just have a problem with that one. I don't like. They're doing their Bible studies, and nope, that's where I have a problem with. But that's my own personal belief. But I think we just have to walk it with caution. That's where we have to walk it with. Absolutely. Because I mean, I've, and I don't, I've had to say, don't change the person because it comes up. I mean, it's like, that didn't even look like the original person. So I often don't put pictures in there to do anything with, you know, like we had a picture one time and I just said, keep everything the same. But, we were at a restaurant. I wanted the picture but I didn't want all the stuff that was on the table that showed all the glasses and all that kind of stuff. So I said, just please, I wanted the focus to be on the people. So please remove all the stuff from the table, leaving everybody else the same. So I just think, like anything in life, we've got to be careful. And this artwork I think is amazing because we received a whole bag of fabric from someone in our local area. And she said to me, this would have wound up in the round, been thrown out. And I'm recycling it for another purpose to make art. And I think that, um, maybe a lot of crafters or quilters that have fabric scraps that they just get rid of that, that, can be repurposed for this. Um, so if you have a family member that quilts, find out if they've got extra fabric scraps that they'd like to give you. I think we've got to start getting our young people into doing stuff like this, get them off their phones and get them into something like this. I think that this would also be, like I've said before, a tremendous project to put around for, um, have friends over and have the project prepared and have them bring fabric and you sit around and you order, a meal and sit down and chit chat and talk and put something together and laugh and so forth. I think it'd be wonderful. And it's also becoming a space for my daughter and I to kind of connect. And I am absolutely loving it. My daughter said, to me on Saturday, Mom, we found our thing, and I've had to raise a child on the spectrum, and I've always been this crafty person, and that's not her, and that's fine. But we're able to kind of connect in a really special way through this that I'm just finding out is just, it's such a blessing. And, it's like I said, that saying of, a journey will awaken the soul. Sometimes that's what it does, is it absolutely does that. So we're not stopping, guys. We're going to be here doing project after project. I just hope people can really understand the benefit. I love everybody that came in here tonight. Please, if you're in here, also wish Sandy Wendy a happy birthday. Thank you for her friendship and her moderating. I really, really tremendously appreciate it. But I just, whenever we're live, it gives you guys the opportunity to connect. You don't have to ever pick up a seam ripper or a crochet hook or do anything we're doing. I don't care if we're going on a field trip. I don't care if we're just chit chatting. I don't care if we're going down sitting by the gazebo. I don't care if we're going out and seeing the snow. I don't care what we're doing. The goal of this channel, is to always be a place for you guys to come in and talk and connect. If you're building a channel, it's an opportunity for you to talk with other people and for them to get to know you. That's the whole point of it. It's not about watching me do this or thinking, oh, I've got to go grab a seam ripper and some fabric and some insulated board. You may do that, but you may do that. You may choose to do that, but you don't have to. Or you could just say, listen, I don't ever want to do that, but I'm fascinated to see the artwork come together. And it's fascinating to watch. And in the process, boy, I've made some connections and some friendships. You want to know how to build your YouTube channel? Don't try to. The best way you can build your YouTube channel is going outside of your niche. If you're going to stay in your niche, you're not going to build it. I have people that I have friends with that are in homesteading channels and all different kind of channels. You go into Tuber Chat and you've got all different kind of channels in there and people, and it's all about building those connections. Now, one thing that I am doing with this, because I doubled up the fabric, and Matt says it's a temporary bond, but it seems like it's holding just fine. Um, it's not like once it's in here, we're going to be moving it. I am just taking a little bit of the glue and going around just to make sure that it kind of has a little bit extra insurance that this is not going to move. I wouldn't do it. I just take it around just a little bit. You don't need much glue. You just need a little bit. Just to make sure that it kind of is going to keep those two fabrics down. I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. I really do. I really don't. I think where you have it stuck, it's going to stay. I'm just doing it as a little extra. And I don't even know if you have to do it all the way around, but there's a couple little frays. And like I've said before, if you think you're fraying with something, take your glue and go ahead and um, you know what I mean? Go ahead and just take your glue, take the precaution, go ahead and get it down rather than waiting. Because then if you could come back and a fray just starts a domino effect. And we don't want to do that. So you think you've got a fray happening, and this is why I like using the white glue versus the clear. I may end up eventually getting some clear glue for the darker parts, but I do like it. It's a quick drying glue. I'll have to get some clear glue and see if I like it. Yeah, I used to watch a lady that did crafts, and mind you, I'm looking at my laptop because you're looking at crafts that she ended up being truly. Uh, oh my goodness! Hear others and their family, others go after her. That is so sad. That is, we're not about that. I won't allow it. I will not allow it. People come in here, they're going to be respectful, and that's all it is. For instance, when my daughter comes live, I have I told everybody when it happened. I wasn't going to tell everybody exactly when it happened to keep the privacy, but I am officially a grandmother. I'm going to do a special project next month to kind of honor that. But I did give a little bit of time between everything. But my daughter wants to come on, and I made it very clear last night that if she comes on, and she'll be probably back and forth between doing this and taking care of someone. My mods will know. Don't ask to see that they don't want him. They don't want the little one on social media. I said, don't ask to see it. To see the little one. If she chooses to show, that's on her. I don't want anybody asking. Can we see little one? No. You let her handle it. If she doesn't want that one to be seen, it's not going to be seen. Keep asking, and my mods will just remove the comment. And I'm not even going to respond to it. So I won't allow anybody to channel. She has a new channel. Oh, that is sad. Yeah. I try not to get into YouTube drama. I really don't. I just try to have everybody feel welcome. Everybody come in. Let's just be one. It's all about community. People want to start drama, they can go someplace else. It's not here. I don't want to deal with it. Partly because I am, um, partly because I am a chronic pain patient and I deal with fibromyalgia. Drama really and stress just really affects my pain level, and I avoid it like the plague. I really do. I can't deal with it. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm not about it. I don't want people want to have drama go someplace else. It's not here. Sandy will tell you I don't put up with it. I won't put up with my people being bullied in here. I will not have it. You know, I just won't do it. It's not, I'm here to protect my community and I will do whatever it needs to do to protect you all. And you've got to have a safe place to come, and it is a safe place for you all to come in. If people have a problem with it, they can go someplace else. It's not this place. I've worked too hard to make it like this, and I won't have it any other way. Yep. It's not. It's just basic art of being respectful to each other, and and what happens is if you don't kind of set that boundary right away, you know, you got to set it up right from the get go. You don't need much of that spray. It's gonna last us a while. You have to set it up right away to be that way. I just won't have it. It's not happening. Yep. You know, I've I won't talk about it. I won't talk about another creator in a disrespectful manner. I won't do it because I don't want it done to me. If we have an issue, we're going to talk about it privately. I will not bring it. It's not going to be aired out. If I have a problem with somebody, I will try to see if I can work it out with them. But it's not going to be here. We're not doing that. We're not doing it on here. I just won't have it. I just can't. I can't. I can't. I just really. I can't. I can't handle it. And it's like we've worked too hard for everything to come together. I don't want to have. You know. I just. And there's too much negativity in our world today with everything. There's got to be a place. I mean, I don't even watch. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Oh, that's really not. That's not okay. You know, and I really appreciate stats you not going into detail to who it is because I don't want that either. I think that's just it's not healthy either. But and I appreciate you not doing that here. Because I won't allow, even if they've done something that's not okay, we're not going to start, we're going to be higher than that individual and we're not going to start bashing them here because I won't allow it. Um, but I just, you know, I sat and watched and I think I finished the series, but I think I fell asleep. Oh, well, I'm sorry. You know, I've watched, I think I fell asleep. So I didn't see it. I'm gonna go back now. But I watched the Brady Bunch over the past little bit. I thought there's nothing on TV. So let's go back to some of the old shows that were just Brady Bunch and Charles in Charge and Mr. Belvedere and Benson and Knight Rider and all the stuff. I'm like, there's not even anything on the television that's their stuff. There's all this negative stuff. And then you go on the internet. There's all this stuff. And it's like all this no, I don't want to deal with it. There was lessons learned and I watched like the Brady Bunch. There was lessons in those shows. There was lessons in Mr. Belvedere. There was lessons in Benson. You know, I watched recently Hazel, you know. I watched that whole series and I'm like, you know, to have all this drama. Who needs it? It's not fun. Oh, I love Knight Rider too. Well, like I said, I have nothing bad to say about anybody whatsoever, nor will I ever do. Um, I will not happen here. I have nothing bad to say about anybody. I don't talk about anybody. I don't talk about other creators. I talk about them in a positive manner. I have no problem with anybody. I have just love and respect for everybody. So I'm thankful. There are communities that I have been in that I've just backed out of for various reasons, but I am very grateful. I have nothing but respect and love. And um, we wouldn't be on YouTube without some inspiration. And I'm very grateful and thankful. And I have friends, and I'm not into all of that. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yep. But like I said, there's nothing. I have nothing bad. I just I have love. I have love and respect. I have friends still, and I support. I think sometimes in certain circumstances, you need to support quietly, and I do. And but I'm not gonna. I won't do it. There's not anybody that I have no qualms with anybody. None. I won't do it because I don't. You know. Because see, here's the thing, and here's the basis of it. YouTube and the communities that I found on YouTube have been a tremendous source of connection. It has helped me in so many ways. I don't have anything negative to say because I'm grateful for learning the importance of connection and building my community. And my mother has benefited from that through ad revenue and all that. I've benefited through it through community and having it because I deal with that chronic pain and it sucks. It's so hard to deal with. It's not fun under any level. And, you know, I have found out that having the connection keeps my mind off of the pain. I don't want to deal with it. And I can come on, I can crochet, I can do this, I can chit chat. I mean, like right now, hi, real odds and evens. Hi, Julie. Welcome on in. Well, I didn't pay attention to it, so I'm um, again, I have nothing but respect and love, and that's where I'm going to leave it. I just have nothing. I still consider people my friends. I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for anything. Um, I just am grateful for the community that we have built. Uh, there are some people I wouldn't be sitting in this chair with a YouTube channel of over 2,000 if it wasn't for them. And I don't have anything negative. I don't, and I won't ever. I have nothing but gratitude and love. And that's all there is to it. And I don't pay attention to the drama. If there's stuff that's been said about our channel, guess what? I ain't paying attention to it. I don't have time. People want to say negative stuff. Go right ahead and say negative stuff. I don't have time for it. So, well, thank you, Blondie. Yep. And I'm here to show people how to do this, how to crochet, taking you places, recipes, and all that other kind of stuff. And I have all that stuff that I'm showing. I'm doing this. This has helped. This art form I have found has been so therapeutic for me in so many ways. My daughter and I are connecting on this on a really special level through this. And I'm thankful. So Julie, if you haven't understood what we're doing Kinusaiga. And Kinusaiga is where you take insulated board and you make pictures out of it. This is one we did with the flag. And we do these projects. And this is our new passion. But this is a channel where you could put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. Because we are doing, that's what we're all about. Anytime we go live, there's an opportunity for you to come in here and connect and grow and meet other people. This is the fish we're doing. We're doing this the um, on the on the book base, but you use insulated board. You do not use styrofoam. You use a steam ripper and fabric scraps, and you tuck it into fabric and make beautiful pictures. Um, this is our fabric list of all the supplies we've been using. Some of them do contain affiliate links. And then this is the one that we have our link tree, our pattern list, where we have we have this not this pattern yet. We have because we're still testing this one out. We have the cross they gave to my husband's grandmother, and we have that go. Where'd it go? And we have the cross and we have the rose. So the rose is always free and the cross is $2. Most of our patterns will be no more than $2. The flag will be 3 because we're going to be doing 2 different designs, one with the flowers and one's without. But it's very therapeutic. So we're going to be doing a lot of this, guys. Sorry. We're hooked on this. This is not just one and done to show you how to do it and move on, y'all. We're hooked. And you know what? We have to test. We're growing in this. We've got to test patterns out and so guess what? Um we we have to test patterns out and you guys were part of watching that experience. The cardboard, it's not cardboard. It's insulated board. You can get it at your local Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. It's on our the supply list. You're looking for the Pink Panther Hobby Lobby or Hobby Lobby. Lowe's has a different brand than this one, but it's polystyrene. It's the insulated board you put behind the walls in your home. This is what you're looking for. You do not want to use styrofoam, and the reason you don't want to use styrofoam has a lot more holes in it. You can see all the dips that I've gotten just on the styrofoam. So styrofoam has a lot of different dips in it. This insulated board is much more sturdy. The cardstock is sticky because you're using this 3M double sticky adhesive paper. You can get it in sheets. Like I said, everything's on our list on the fabric list. You get it in sheets. We actually just got another. We got it. You can get it in rolls. We just got a roll of it. because we're going to be doing more and we're going to need more. So that's what you're using. You cut out the image, or cut out the shape on the insulated board. You then lay down your image. You lay down your image pattern, whatever pattern you're using for your project, and you lay it down here like this, and then you cut it out. This is the knife or the cutting tool we use. You cut it. You well, you put you cut out your foam board, your stuff. Then you cut out. Once you do that, you lay down this 3M stuff that's sticky. Then you put your pattern. You tape that to your thing. Just use packing tape on several sides, and then you sit there and you cut out all the lines and cut out what the shape's going to be. Yep. So the fabric list has some affiliate links, but Mom is an affiliate with Amazon. So all of the supplies that we've used are in that. And I'm only doing this step because of how, I don't know if you all can see how thin the yellow is. And this is a great option. I've seen people use tulle as fabric or thin fabric. It's an option for when you're dealing with thin fabric. And yes, it's Mocha snoring, y'all. That's Mocha snoring. So then after we get done with this, it's not necessary that you have to sit and outline the whole thing. But I do have some embroidery thread that I have because I still have the sewing machine that uh, was also an embroidery machine. And I'm not going to use it for that purpose. So I thought I might as well use up all the embroidery thread. It's this, and it's on the fabric list. It's basting. Even though it says temporary, it's holding. It's this. And the only reason that I'm using this is because look at this. This is, and this fabric we're using is on the Amazon list, but it's on the thin side. And I actually have to go back to our fabric store. We are going to be getting all of our fabric from a place called Country Fabrics in our area. That's where we're going to be sourcing our fabric from this point forward. um, and putting kits together and so forth for it. But uh, we got this off of Amazon, and some even getting there from the store is on the thinner side. And I have to go see if they have really thin white fabric. And I think the only time you're going to need it is when you're dealing with like lighter fabric. But you can see how this looks on the back of the insulated board. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of it's just not showing itself, right? So taking, in this instance, a little bit of the white fabric and putting this on top really changes it. It shows off those sun rays so much better. So it'll just depend on the fabric you're using. This was another example. This is another one we had, and it was a pack of fabric. You can see that. You can see the board popping through. Not all of it is going to need this step. But for this, look at the difference. See how much more you can see the flowers? They're much more enhanced when you do this step. So this is only if the fabric's on the thin side. I need to go get some white. I don't have very much of this white fabric, so that when I'm dealing with a fabric that's thin or light in color and it's really picking up the hue of this board, like I didn't need to do it with any other one but this. Um, I have the option of being able to do that. So it really makes a pop. It makes it a little bit more difficult to get the fabric in, but again, um, and even though it's a temporary bond, it's really holding. I mean, depends. You don't need much on it. Once you get it in there, it's not going to stick. Yes, she is. And she wants to come on. We actually have a pattern that I've put together with Mocha that's sitting there snoring on the couch or the bed, and she wants to come on live and do do the Facebook or not do a YouTube live and come on and we do Mocha together and see what both of our impressions. I'm sure that even though our impressions of Mocha would be totally different. And that is her wardrobe. That is her YouTube channel. She's only about, what is it? I think she's only like 13 away from, no, like 23 away or something like that from 500. She doesn't have the watch hours for it, but that's her cosplay channel. She has beautiful cosplay. So she wants to come on and we do Mocha together. Um, but the picture I use for our avatar on YouTube is the one at her wedding. She was a beautiful bride. So, you itching, Mocha? So, anyway, it's dark outside now, guys. There's something much to see. I figured you might see the doggy. So we're gonna come on one time and do Mocha. She wants to do Mocha, and we do a picture of her, and then we do what each impression of what of it'll be. All right. Well, have a good night. We're probably not gonna. Yeah, the sun is really good. Um, we may not be on here too much longer. We're gonna try to do. I want to get done with at least the sun tonight, and then we may even get done with it all together. We'll see. I did part 6, but part 6 may be outlining it tomorrow if we get done with it. So, and we are doing the fish on Facebook just because we want to start branching into Facebook. Mama does get stars over on Facebook on the book face, and we also want to bring people over from Facebook over here to let them know what we're doing over on the YouTube channel. So we're trying to get some exposure over there too as well. Here comes Mama. Oh gosh. There's Mama. I was letting it because it's Sandy Wendy's birthday today. Happy birthday! I was saying happy birthday. So she loves looking at Mocha, so I let everybody look at Mocha tonight. She's got to have something to eat. You gonna stretch? It's she loves now coming in with me while I do this. Chicken dinner? Oh, good. And guys, understand this dog was abused before we got her. So when she exposes her belly, that means a lot because it's not something that she did very easily at first because she took a long way to trust us. It's time for dinner, not belly rubs. Time for chicken dinner. Chicken dinner? You don't want no chicken. Oh, that was too much. Y'all got to see that. It was cute. You have to be bribed to go get chicken dinner. No, she'd rather have pets. Little silly dog. Oh goodness, it was too funny to watch. So I want to make it very clear that this channel will never be about bullying. And I also want to make it very clear that we're here to be respectful as a community with each other. And I also I don't pay attention. I don't want to know if anybody's, talking negative about this channel or what have you. I don't want to know about it. Just, we're moving on. I don't have time. I don't have time for that. And I think sometimes if we feed into all that, it doesn't serve any purpose. I have a lot of friends on this platform, and I am very grateful that I found it, that I have made all the friends I have, that I was inspired to hit that live button and come on and give people a safe place to come on. I never want this to be a channel that we're dealing with drama or bringing stuff in. I want it to be a place that people can come, and if they're going through a really bad day, they have a place to come talk about it. I've been there with my daughter who has autism. I've been there with my dad when he forgot my name. I've been there so many times in my life when I'm going through a difficult time and I needed some place to talk. This will always be a safe place. Always. I have nothing but love in my heart. I really don't have I don't have there's not anybody on the YouTube channels I have that that I on the YouTube side I don't like. I just, you know, and I won't, you know, I won't talk any negative stuff. We're all here, but sometimes we have to go through stuff. Sometimes I mean, I'm all here about the times when we got to talk about and you're having a really rough day. We're all here about that. I'm just going to be, we're just going to, like I said from day one, we're not talking. People want to talk negative about other people, go someplace else because it's not here. Not doing it. And I think that you have to be in a position to do that. You have to set that. It's like, when you have a dog and it's meeting a baby for the first time, you don't just say, "Oh, here's free reign." Nope, you give boundaries to that dog really quick, exactly what you want one to expect. And I think it goes the same way with any kind of channel and YouTube channel or social media. If you're the host and you're controlling the page, you better be setting the rules and expecting, you know, putting there exactly how you want people to act and interact on your channel. And if they're not going to do it, then you know what? There's the door. Because I want everybody to come in here and feel comfortable, and I don't want anybody to not. And you know, the people that I've, you know, we were mods for channels at one point. I backed away from all that because, yep, you have to be. Partly because at the time when I backed away from all that, my aunt had died. And then I was dealing with some health issues after her passing. And I wasn't up to doing any of that. And I also found out that I needed to focus on here and growing this. And so I just decided there's a couple people I will always, couple people I moderate for, and that's fine on occasion. But I didn't, I did it because I was dealing with health issues. I was dealing with my aunt's passing. I really wasn't up to doing it. And I don't, and I want to be able to grow here, you know, but I will be forever grateful for the communities that I found people. And I think that we have to be, and I think people sitting there, I don't want to deal with it. I really don't. I don't have anything negative to say. Not one bit. Not one iota. See that basting? Look at that. I mean, it's going to take a little bit for all that to separate. Still, I mean, but it's not like it's going to be once this is down in the grooves of here, it's not going anyplace. Well, again, I have nothing bad to say. Nothing bad to say, and I won't ever. I have nothing but love and respect, and I you know, consider people my friends. And if people want to talk negative, go let them talk negative. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it because partly because I have to protect my. If somebody's talking on here negative about us and this channel and so forth, guess what? I have to be much more. I have to make sure that I am protecting myself because I really take words and all that kind of stuff to heart because my love language is words. So that's where I kind of and I can go into a spiral, with myself that yeah. I have to be very careful because I can start feeding into myself and I'm this and I'm no good and nobody likes me and all this kind of stuff. And so I can go into a really not so good place when I start and I just won't do it. I have to protect myself. So if people want to go talk negative and they want to go right ahead. I'll still, if you want to call and work it out on the phone or through email, I'll do that too. I won't talk negative about anybody or any other person. You've never heard me once ever on this channel, and I'll never do it, sit here criticizing another person. I won't do it. It's not me. I won't. It's not the place for it. And too many people I think tend to do that. And it's not it may get them clicks and views and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? It's not going to be the kind of clicks and views and support community you want. It's not. So I won't do it. And I don't have any reason to do it because I don't. Yeah, absolutely. But I have to do it. I have to do it for my own self and my own fibromyalgia because when I go for myself, when I'm under stress or I'm going through an emotional issue, what happens with me is my fibromyalgia flares up and then I hurt a lot. And it's not fun. So I've had personal times in my life for various reasons where I have just gone through a really difficult time and I have hurt like crazy. If I have an emotional thing happen privately, you know, guess what? It's going to hurt me the next day. So I have to protect myself very carefully against any of that. Yep, I have to. And, there's people that I have found through different channels and groups on YouTube that they're not just friends to me, they're sisters and brothers. And I don't have any sisters and brothers. I was an only child. My mom ain't going to have any more kids. But they have been there for me when I'm going through a really difficult time. And I'm forever grateful for that. I just am. I'm so grateful beyond measure. And I look at that and I think, oh, but I have to be very careful with the negative and the emotional stuff. I just can't get involved in it. And I think that if you're on YouTube, you better have a thick thing. What's the white stuff? Oh, it's glue. Yep. I think on YouTube, you have to have a very thick skin and realize that you're going to have people that may, you know, talk about you negatively here and there, and you just have to let it roll off your back. I've learned it over time, and you can't let it stop you because not everybody's going to like you. And that's why we've said from day one, be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. And I have nothing but gratitude and love, and I say that with actual sincere, very sincere, because yeah, it's this. I find this very helpful. The only thing that I'm probably going to end up getting at one point just to try is the clear glue, but I like the quick dry because it dries really quick. But sometimes, like for this one, because it's double fabric, I am putting a little bit of glue around it just to make sure that it doesn't come up on us. But um, on top of the fact that um, sometimes you cut the fabric too close to the edge and you wind up with a fray. So if you can stop that quick enough, you're gonna prevent, because once a fray starts, it's a domino effect. It'll eventually fray out. Your piece will not look good. So if you get a little bit close to the edge and you see you're gonna have a fray happen, then you go ahead and take care of it and just put the glue on it, stops the fray. But I'm just putting a little bit extra glue because we're using double fabric, and we're using double fabric, and I don't want the fabric to come apart. I don't think it is. I mean, it's not something that's going to, but it's just I'm using it for a little extra security. But and these are just like position tools. I've got several of them that help me kind of, these ones that kind of help get the glue in. But I probably am gonna just see how I like the clear glue. My only problem with the clear glue is the white glue, except for when you're dealing with, I can't think what it is. When you're dealing with dark fabric like this green. Oh, that's not good. Yep. Um, the fabric, the only problem with the only problem I've seen with the white glue is when you have a dark fabric. But that's why I found out that if you have I have a little water cap, from an old bottle of water, and I just take it and put a little water in it. And then if I need to kind of get rid of excess glue, especially on the dark fabric, not so much on the light, but definitely on the dark, I can take a little bit of the water and it solves the problem. It gets rid of it. But I'm afraid I will try the clear at one point. But my concern about using the clear is you're not going to see where you put it, and then you're going to have a problem with um, you're going to have a problem with not seeing where you put it, and then you could get some on the fabric that you're not seeing, and it's better where you're putting it and where you need to kind of get rid of it. so it's not sitting on the fabric. That's my only concern about using the clear. So, oh nuts. Mary, I gotta pull that out. I have to pull what I just put on out. Dang on. Do you not see what all I did? I talked too much. We can fix it. And if you wind up doing the same thing that I just did, you can fix it. This needs to be here, not there. That needs to be the other color. Ay, ay, ay. Talking too much and not realizing what I was doing. Oh, and if that happens, all you do is and you pull up all um the sticky stuff, the sticky paper that you put on before you cut your pattern out. Just I've got some extra sticky stuff I can put down. I've got some scraps that I can just put down. Or you can put a little bit of glue down when you put the fabric down and you'll fix the problem. Let's not try to stab myself. I did that last night and it really hurt. I couldn't believe I did that. I was like, wait a minute. Now we've done all this careful work to alternate the sun rays, and I did it. I think we'll be okay. Let me stretch this just a little bit more so that we're a little bit more into the groove before I can glue it. Did all that nice stuff, and then I made a mistake, but you can pull it up and you can fix it if you make a mistake. It's not the end of the world. I just noticed it before I realized it. So my mother does. She's driven down the road and she's realized she's been like she starts talking and she misses exits. And there was one time my mother and I were talking and going on the highway, and this was before phones and GPSs and all that kind of stuff. My dad was doing Naval Reserve training duty, and for some reason we went down there. I can't remember why, and we had to come back. I can't remember for the reason why we he was bringing his truck back, but and he brought his truck back, and my mom's driving, and I don't think my dad's truck was labeled what the company was in yet. I don't know. She's talking. She's talking up a storm. We're talking and having conversation, and next thing she goes, "Wonder why Dad's pulling off on this exit." And of course, it's I-95 down in Florida, so you know it's back in the 90s or 80s or something like that. She started following this truck, and then she realized when she pulled up to the got off the intersection where you could pull up, and she was going to find out from my dad why he pulled off the road. She looked in the thing and she goes, "That's not your dad." She followed the wrong car off the thing. We got home, but she was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I followed the wrong car." I'm like, "Yep, Mom, you did." And I was talking on YouTube one day, and we were driving to church, and she totally missed the exit. It was funny to watch. And here I am talking away, and what did I do? I put the wrong. But guys, that's why I tell y'all, be proud of being you. Everybody else is taken. You can't be anybody else. Nobody can be you. Not everybody's gonna like you. Find your community. have that connection. It's so important. Don't, you know, be yourself. There's too many people trying to be everybody else but themselves. And when God made you, he broke the mold. He doesn't make another. Thank God there's not another me. There's not another everybody. Everybody's one of a kind. And I think everybody's trying to be everybody else and keep up with the Joneses, and it doesn't work like that. You got to be yourself. And you got to find your purpose. And my mother has said to me, she goes, Mary, I don't know how you do it. You get on that thing, you talk away, and she said, you chit chat. She said, I could never do that. Sit for, I don't know how long we've been on here, for quite a while. And she said, you find all these things to talk about. She said, I don't know how you do it. You know, because that's the way God wired me. I'm like my dad. And you can also, I don't find it sticking like too much to the, like, I don't feel that this is too sticky, but you can keep a thing of like just disposable wipes. Yeah. Yeah. And I just take it. So if you're, this is just a cutting board from, um, the Sam's Club. I mean, you can get. I know I did. That's Mr. Buster Crochet screwing up. Stole both of them from me. But you could get a self-healing quilting mat if you want. I just had this. I find out it's very sturdy, but I have a wipe, you know, and I'll just take it and clean up. So every once in a while, just take a wipe. Sometimes you need to clean your tools off. That helps. Yep. I think there's too many people in this world not willing to accept, and everybody, not everybody's have the same opinion. Lord have mercy. That's what makes it nice. We all have different opinions and different views, and we should be allowed to have them and love each other and accept each other and move on. I've spent too much of my life without friends, and I'm not going to spend any more time without people. Because, like a day like this, where I, as an asthmatic patient, never even mind the fibromyalgia days, but just today, I couldn't, I mean, unless there was an activity inside, I wouldn't have been able to go outside because, I mean, we didn't even let Mocha outside today. Usually, the lady that comes, our neighbor is so loving. She loves Mocha and she'll come take her for a walk. I couldn't have done it today. I had to stay inside because the smoke was so bad. And all I did was open the door to let the package out for, um, to bring the package in of the scissors and the eyes. And I mean, the smoke was horrible. I'm like, I can't go out till the smoke clears. My mother went out for a little bit, but she went inside. So unless there was an activity inside, couldn't have done it. And there's days where I deal with chronic pain and I just can't do it. I think even if the smoke wasn't there today, I'd have had trouble today. I was really tired. I was hurting. I was sore. And I just didn't have the energy for it. So, and this is just so therapeutic that it does help me when I'm kind of like really struggling. I've thought I did it again, y'all. Oh, Mary. Let's do it over here. I did it again. Y'all didn't stop me. I'm sitting there running, going, wait a minute, why does this not look right? Put the wrong fabric in. Or where did that go? Where did it go? Where did it go? That's not it. Well, no, don't even go there. It wasn't this, was it? Yeah, it was. I put it in there. I'm having a moment. No, it doesn't go there either. It goes here. Oh, good night. Let's get done with this one first before I don't put it in the wrong place twice. Oh boy. Hopefully this piece will fit right here, and I think it will. Oh, good night. For Petey's sake. My aunt used to find a kick when I said that. I said, well, my great aunt used to say for Petey's sake. So I said, well, it's better than some of the other words they use today. But I'll sit there and say, for Petey's sake. Josh doesn't like that noise. Oops. Have your. What? I said, you don't like that noise when it makes that noise. What noise? Yeah, he doesn't like it. He can't take it. He'll cover his ears when it makes it. Some people can't take it. Somebody else does fingernails across glass or chalkboard. Can't handle it. I can handle it. If I do it, I can't handle it. So figure that one out. Yeah, but you don't like it when this squeaks across it. You can't take it. I can't take it. He doesn't like the noise. It hurts his ears. Why is this not going through? It should. It's just not. It being difficult. Where did that white? Okay. Sometimes it needs the. It's because it's a corner piece, but I've cut it, so it should be, and it's a pretty thick cut. Sometimes you have to get the heavy tools in. That's why these things are nice. And be careful how you use them, because sometimes they can really dig into the thing. So I'd be very careful how you use them. But sometimes it needs the 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 tougher, heavier material than the seam ripper, because it just was not going in to the space that I wanted it to go in. Come on. I don't think I cut that space for this part to go in. So, Sandy, did you do anything for your birthday today, or are you celebrating another day? You out to dinner at least? I'm gonna start drinking my juice. My juice, my juice, my juice. I gotta start doing some more. I've got the juice stuff on my phone. I just have to do more of it. Put it together. Just been so busy, unexpectedly busy doing this, that I wasn't expecting to get involved with fabric and insulated board and all that kind of stuff. Like I said to Josh, I think that's one thing to learn from everything. Sometimes In life, we go on unexpected journeys, things that we weren't expecting to do. And sometimes you have to listen to the journey because sometimes there's amazing blessings in it that you don't see. That, believe what you want to believe, that maybe God is showing you in one way or another. But I just think to myself, I've received so many blessings from doing this artwork. And it's been so therapeutic for me that I'm just like so thankful that I'm just, you know, I've gotten hooked in with it for more ways than one. And I don't know where it's going to take me, but I'm going on the journey. Unexpected journey, but I'm going on it. And sometimes I think we're afraid to take those steps and go down that path. And sometimes we have to listen and do it, because if we don't walk it, go outside our comfort zone, sometimes we get stuck. So sometimes we have to listen. Now we're done with that stuff. I'm putting it over there so I don't put it in the. I don't do the wrong thing. I did that twice, didn't I? So we can put the right fabric, which is this, onto the right section. No, I don't. Oh, that was the problem. I'll put it in there. Nobody stopped me. Oh, I'm kidding with y'all. I would say there's probably scissors that are a little bit, hoping that these scissors will loosen up. They have a little bit, so they're brand new scissors. They cut very well. I mean, they're probably, oh, this is my juice. I've got, be prepared. You might have threads all over you too when when you're doing this. This is my juice. Delicious. Yum, 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 yum. And make sure if you're going to use this spray, you're going to do it in a well insulated spot. Just for so forth. And we're in a pretty well insulated thing. Stop me after the fact. Yeah. Oh, well, it all worked out. If you make a mistake, just tear it out. Start again, like we did. It was a pretty easy mistake to fix. And if it showed you all how easy it is to just make the mistake, move on and tear it out and start again, it's okay. It works. I'm so glad I doubled the fabric up on this yellow, because I know I don't think I would have liked it as well if I hadn't. I would have had a problem with it. It wouldn't have been too see-through for me. Yep. Yep, it does. So there are times where, and there's people that I've seen use tulle or sheer fabrics for one reason or another. So there are going to be times where you're going to have to double the fabric. I am going to go back to that fabric store, which is amazing. And I'm going to see if they have very thin white fabric that I can maybe buy a yard or two of and have on hand. So if I need to back it with anything, I don't think you're going to need to do it with the dark. I think just the one to have is white. I think it will be the lighter fabrics. And it would honestly depend, because if you're doing a purple, well, it depends on how sheer it is. For this case, it would just take a white. But if you're doing like if you wanted to do tulle and you wanted to put the tulle or sheer fabric, like if you were going to do purple tulle, you probably want the matching purple backing to be on the back. But in that case, tulle is very thin. So it wouldn't be that much. It would be like, it would be, it wouldn't really be too thick. But for taking fabric that may be on the thinner side, just to brighten it up a little bit, then you would just need a white. I don't think you would need a black. I think that would make it too dark, in my opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about. You got some tea? So did you go out to dinner, or are you going to go out to dinner another day for your birthday? You got to celebrate, or you just stayed at home and relaxed? Sometimes I've done it for my birthday. I've just stayed home and relaxed. I've done that for my anniversary too. Just didn't want to go out. Josh and I are celebrating our 19th wedding anniversary next week. We made it to 19 years. Is amazing. Put up with each other for 19 years. And my mother's birthday is the 23rd. Oh. Oh, well, I hope he's okay, but that'll be nice for you to go out on Saturday and celebrate. Tell him I hope he feels better. My grandfather was born, my papu, on the 23rd of July. So that's his birthday. It was also the anniversary of one of my no, yeah, someone, either one of my grandparents or one of my great grandparents had the same, the 21st. And then my mother's birthday is the 23rd. So on there, I think of my papu because he was a very special man. So we're going to head down to the Amish country for our birthday, or for our anniversary. And I've got some soap caddies. I want to see if I can get them down there to some of the Amish shops, if they'll take them on consignment. And we're just going to go down there for the day. I love the Amish country. And there's a restaurant down there. It's not very fancy, but there's several restaurants, so forth. So yeah, we're happy just to go down there, go to one of the places. Walnut Creek has delicious food. Get there and then have their ice cream. So we'll see. We'll find. There's also other places around there. We'll see. I don't know where we'll go yet. Ohio. down in Berlin, Ohio. And I actually have to go, and there's there's a 24 or 365 day a year Christmas shop because we do Christmas step caddies. I want to take them in there, and I actually have to get a Christmas ornament, so I might as well get it while I'm down there. So I'll get that all when I'm down there while I'm in their shop. And I don't have to go. Not that I don't want to go towards Christmas. I mean, the fall down there is gorgeous, guys. But I love taking you all, at least taking a drive down there, letting you all see the fall leaves. It's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But we're going to go down there. We'll spend the day down there. There's so many places. Oh, did it cut out on me? See, I'm not a second. Why is it doing that to me? It's having a problem for a moment. Why are you doing? Hold on a second, guys. We're having technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. I'm in this part. Mind you, the one that does. Why is it doing that to me? Why am I hearing myself? It's having a problem for a moment. Why are you doing? Hold on a second, guys. We're having technical difficulties. Okay, at least so. It hasn't. I'm dealing with a phone that I run on for me. The one that you see me with is an old phone. It's an old phone. But it's working for now. I've got to get myself eventually. I've got to get an iPad. Yep. They are down there. Horse and buggies are down there. The Amish country is beautiful. Love it. I love it down there. Love it, love it, love it. So we're almost done, so I probably won't do. Probably will not sign back in. So I'm not gonna, but the phone that I have that you look at me and I let you look at Mocha is an old iPhone that I'm using right now because it's the only way. Originally, I was trying to, when I hooked up with YouTube, hooked up to do this, I was trying to have my Chromebook with my nice camera hooked up. And it says it only allows it on apps on phones. So the only way to invite somebody on a live and have that other camera is I use a phone or an iPad or a tablet or something. So I'm using an old phone. Oh, that's cool. So I have to eventually get, I think we're looking at getting like an iPhone or iPad mini, like 4 or something. I'm like, I don't need something fancy. I just need something that doesn't even do Wi-Fi or not do, does calls and all that. I just need something that just does Wi-Fi, like just to go on. I think I found one for like, it was like $70 or something. And Josh was like, well, there's one for $10 more that has more memory. I'm like, I don't need the more memory. I just need to go live. A little better quality than I don't even know what series. I don't even know what iPhone this other one is. The cheese is my favorite chore, yep. Maybe I have. I would love Walnut Creek. That's wonderful place, Walnut Creek Cheese Factory. Pine, it's called, it's called Heine's. That place, if you can't find cheese there, then good luck. There's, you, there's every brand of cheese you ever thought you could imagine is there. Heine's and Walnut Creek, and it's just amazing. It's really. Yeah. Yep, well, when my family used to come up, my mother was raised where we live, and then we used to come up for the summer because her godmother used to live up here when we were in Florida. And of course, we didn't think we would be up here again. We thought we'd be in, Cincinnati, but my daughter had other plans. And so, anyway, the the so when we used to come up and visit my namesake, which is my mother's godmother. She used to take us down to down to Berlin and down to Walnut Creek and all that. Used to love it. And I always felt like when I came back to Ohio and when I was visiting her, like I was coming home. I don't know why I always felt like that. So I love it up here. I would never want to go back to Florida. No desire for it. I mean, I don't like when we have stormy weather and when there's like tornadoes that, kind of come our way and so forth, or, the tornado sirens go off. Don't like them. Don't live in a place where I've got a basement. Yeah. And don't like it. Yeah, there's so much to do. And I have no desire, don't like the traffic. I love the fall. I love the winter. So I have no desire to go back to Florida ever. Y'all can have it. My husband doesn't like the heat. My mother loves the hot weather. She puts up with the winter and the fall. But I love the cold weather. I mean, we've had it, snowing outside, and I've opened my window at night. We keep at nighttime the air in the day is on auto on 72 in the summer, because my husband's a diabetic, so he doesn't regulate his body heat. He gets overheated very easily. So we keep it at 72, and at night that air is turned down on fan is on and it's turned down to 70. But in the winter, we'll have the fan on. Now we'll have the fan on, on the lowest setting, but the ceiling fan is on, and I've done it where I've kept I've had the window open. It's snowing outside. It's 20 degrees out. Colder than that, the window's open because I get hot. And our room stays a little bit hotter than my mother's room does. And I go into my mother's room and she's got the heat on, and like, Mom, it's roasting in here. That's the way she likes it. That's not the way I like it. I like it cold. I mean, I don't like it super cold, but I do prefer it cold. I was never one of those kids that liked to be out in the hot heat of Florida either. I just never liked it when I was a kid. I guess when we moved up here, I was going to my pain doctor in Cincinnati. Never forget him saying, You moved up here from Florida? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're in the wrong climate for fibromyalgia. And he said, you should go to Arizona or something. I said, no way. I said, first of all, my husband wouldn't go. He'd say, have fun. You go out and live there. I'm like, nope. He said, you should go back to Florida. I said, nope. And I actually find out sometimes, it doesn't always work, but if I'm hurting and I go out and it's like cold outside and I go out there for about 20 minutes, I can actually find myself like not hurting. I'll come in and for a little bit I won't hurt. There's something to that cold weather. Kind of like it numbs me for a little bit. And I'm able to kind of, I don't know what it is, but it does work. I've come in and it's like for a while I don't feel the pain. It doesn't last forever, but my mother's like, I couldn't do that. I'm like, yeah. So sometimes I'll purposely in the winter I'll go out and just take a walk, sit outside for 20 minutes in the cold, and it does something to my pain level. I don't know what it does, but it'll work. Sometimes if I'm hurting, it kind of just numbs my body for a little bit. It helps. So it does the opposite of what I guess people, or if you're in pain, I guess you should have the heat. But it just helps. I'll go out and people have seen me, and I'm like, okay, 20 minutes are up. Cold therapy. And it will help. Don't quite understand it, but I'm not going to question it. I'll do it. What works for me is not necessarily going to work for somebody else's body that's dealing with it. The ones that I hate is when and I'll get them every once in a while. If I'm in enough pain and they're murder, I hate them, but I'll deal with it. Is I'll start getting like really cold, like shivering, and I hate those because that they're painful. My whole body will shiver. I could be under 5 blankets and still shiver. And I just have to stop whatever I'm doing when those start. I was told by somebody one time, it's your body is producing energy to fight the pain. And so the only way for your body to kind of deal with the pain is to stop. It's like you're just shivering and, kind of get warmed up. And so when those start, I have to lay still. I have to go in bed, lay still, have Josh put about 4 or 5 blankets on me and stop moving. And I have a heated blanket. I'll throw that on top of me and I'll stop moving. And I'll stop moving for as long as it takes for my body to stop. And it takes about 2 or 3 hours, and then it'll warm up, and I'll stop. But it's not a fun thing when those start. And it could be 80 degrees outside, and I'll be under 5 blankets if I'm in enough pain. And I wasn't having that today when I laid down for a nap, but I kind of felt like I was going in that direction. I'm like, I think I'm gonna I'm drinking my juice, guys. That's why I'm stopping for a second. But hopefully I'm not frozen. I kind of felt like I was having one of them start up today. Nope. Mary, stop moving, get under the blankets, and cut it off at the pass. Almost done with my juice. Okay. Okay, so we're done with the sun.
So that's that. Ooh, I like it. So really, we only have, I think we're going to have to make a cut. See, this is why I'm testing these out. We're going to have to make a cut right here. So let's go ahead and make a cut from here to here. So I've got enough. I'll do some up in. Okay, we gotta make a cut from here to here. That's why I'm testing this out. And then I think, okay, I did make that, didn't I? In the middle of the cloud, I'm gonna make another one. From here to here, we're gonna make another one. Get our blue out that we're using for the sky. I don't know if I'm going to finish all of this right now. What time is it? I may stay on a little bit longer, but I don't think I'm going to finish all of it tonight. So we've been on since about 7:30. And I'm trying to watch myself that I don't sit here. I mean, it's much more comfortable that I'm sitting in my office chair than our dining room table chairs. They're wonderful for dinner. They're not wonderful to sit for 4 hours. They're not that comfortable for that. So I think I'm trying to watch, unless I'm like really, I've been tired today. I don't know why. I've just been tired. We're going to come on tomorrow and do some more. So I don't know if I'll finish the whole thing tonight. I may do it tomorrow. I did schedule the live for tomorrow, guys. I have to work on the pattern. Oh, Christina wants me to work on this. It is so relaxing. So I've got to work on that one so I can get that ready for her for Sunday. I've got to work on Mocha. I've got to work on the flag tomorrow. And that's another thing that I'm trying to work on. And I've got to work on that pumpkin one. We're probably going to do a pumpkin a little sooner than expected because I've got to be able to test that one out. Yep. I'm getting there. This is just so, and you sit there and go, just one more, and one more piece. But we're probably going to do a pumpkin, and it's going to seem like an odd time to do it, but I have got to, if I'm going to do this one for possibly, see the shop that we're getting our fabric from, they put their newsletter out in September. So if we're going to be possibly doing a class, my mom and I, then I've got to have, even though I'll be possibly having to test out a pumpkin in the middle of July, so I know what, if they are interested in me doing a class, and my mom and I doing a class on this, and I would just go to talk and chit chat with people, and Mama can get the revenue. That I've got to test the pattern out. So of course, two things, and it's probably going to be a very simple pattern. I have one, and here's the thing. I'd probably do. I can't do two patterns. I can't. I don't know. I have to look at the pattern because I may choose to make I have to make a very simple one. But I do have one. It's really cute. It's a pumpkin with a bow on it, and it's got leaves. I don't know if the leaves would be too complicated to do for somebody just learning how to do this. So I'd probably have to do two of them, so I knew, if the leaves were something that were going to be really easy for somebody to accomplish that's never done this before. But it's also something that if they didn't finish the whole thing in class, they could take it home, but I would really like to do it and take pictures of them holding the thing, so one of those I'm going to have to see. I think I'd probably just do the pumpkin with the bow, and that would be it, and not do the leaves. I probably am leaning towards that. I want to do the one with the leaves, but that's because I can sit here and do it. But of the duck, after you completed it on your community page, maybe add a link to the video. Yes. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you can watch the replay. And the goose will have a pattern. People can purchase the pattern if they like. Absolutely. I'm just, this is not something, this is new in the sense of this has only been around since the 1980s. This is not like a pattern not a pattern. This is not an art form that's been around for a long period of time. This has just been around since the 1980s. So a lot of people have not heard of Kinusaiga. And I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm trying to learn how to say the name. Yeah, I think they could have made a name that would have been a lot easier for people to pronounce. So it's new, and a lot of people haven't heard of it before. And when I show them the stuff, they're fascinated by it. Yeah. Well, I'm starting to do that too, to see if posting when we're going live on the community tab helps let people know. Because we know YouTube and their notifications, they don't work. They do not work. Not one iota. So this helps, this little tool set that I got, when you have a tricky one and you want to you need to get those rounded edges. You just have to be careful because it can dig into the fabric, the foam board a little bit more than you want. So I would be very careful when you're trying to do it. But if you're having a little difficulty with a rounded edge, it does help to kind of push things, open up a little bit. So I find them to be helpful, not only in placing the glue, but also kind of helping to get things in shape. See, there was a little fray happening, and I'm not going to let the fray start. Once something starts fraying, it's going to eventually fray unless it has a little bit of glue to stop it. So you want to make sure that you're just taking care of it before it gets to the point of fraying. But if you're trying to make a round happen, it does help to have these little tools to kind of curve it and give it a nice edge. You don't have to put glue on every edge. It's just sometimes if I see something, it's gonna get glue. I think I cut it too small, or I'm starting to see something. It's gonna get it. And I've made patchworks of stuff too. All right. Well, thank you for stopping in, Stats. I appreciate it. So let's do this section here, and then I think let's do this section, and then tomorrow we'll finish the rest, because we did a lot. We accomplished a lot tonight. But let me go get ready and hop off to bed. So again, your fabric scissors need to be staying for your fabric. Don't be using them on paper. These will never be used on paper. They're a little bit stiff. I'm hoping they're going to kind of relax a little bit. But they were only $5. I got the cheaper scissors because I don't need, I mean, eventually I may need to get like really good fabric scissors, but you know, if we're cutting fabric and doing all that kind of stuff, but I also would probably invest in a better rotary blade than I have. But if I may have to get better fabric scissors down the road, but for right now they're better than the ones I had. So we'll do this piece and then we'll head off for the night. And then that way tomorrow we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 little more pieces to finish, and then we'll start outlining. I would not put the eyes on if you're going to outline the eyes that we have for the goose. I'm waiting to put the eyes on until the final step, because my hand is rubbing over the section where where the eyes are going to be, and I also want to make sure that I'm outlining everything, especially around the face and all that, before I put the eyes on. Because if I put the eyes on, and I especially put them on with that B7000 glue, they are not coming off unless I really force it, which could damage the fabric. So I want it to be the last thing I put it on is the eyes, especially if I'm outlining any part of this, and that may change where I put the actual fabric on, or where I put the eyes on. So if you're going to put the eyes on, wait until you get done with the fabric, with the picture at the end, before you start putting the eyes on, because then that way you have a really good image of where you're going to stick it. So anyway, that's my suggestion. The eyes aren't going on until I get done with it and I've outlined what I'm going to outline. I'm probably going to outline the whole piece, but I don't want to keep rubbing where the eyes are. I want the eyes to stay on, and I want to make sure that where I position them looks good after the outline and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, and you could put eyes in this that are fabric. You know, you could put if you wanted to, you know, cut a space for the eye in the circle and do it, and been able to finagle an eye in there and made it part of the fabric. I just really like the idea of getting eyes and putting them on and giving more of that 3D look with them. And I really like the tiny eyes we found, because, you know, you make the eyes too big, then they're going to take over the piece. But that's something you can make a call to. You know, you could have taken the eyes and done an eye here and an eye here, and you know, I just think that putting little glass eyes, you know, there, And you could put googly eyes if you want them to be silly. It's your, listen, it's you. I personally don't want to put googly eyes unless I'm doing a really fun, really, I mean, this is a silly piece, but it's also a really nice, elegant piece. You know, there's a little bit of class to this one. If I was doing a really silly piece and it called for googly eyes, I'd have no problem putting the googly eyes on. You want to use googly eyes? Go right ahead. It's your work. You get to make the decision. I'm just giving you all suggestions. I like the blue that we chose. I think it goes really well with the hat. Mom, I don't think you're going for a long walk tonight, huh?
Oh no,
It's bad out there.
it's really bad and it's gotten worse.
Yeah, we'll be staying in. I ain't going out, guys. I'm not going to take a trip to the hospital over that. I feel bad for the people in Canada, too, because they've got it even worse than us. That's going to be somewhat covered up. Smoke is just so bad out there. I'm seeing a little bit of possible fraying happening, so we're gonna control that. I'm not gonna take a chance. We're going to take the measures to control that before we get to the point of it being an issue. So, and I will update the picture too on the thumbnail. I figured out that one of the reasons I wasn't scheduling these is because what I do is when I get done with this, I take a picture of, this, and then I put it on the thumbnail so people can see the process that's happening, especially when I'm figuring out we have part 1 through 6, you know what I mean? So then I wait and I put it up so people can see the progress of it. So I just decided I'm going to stop doing that, and then I will put it up and put part 1, part 2, part 3, and then what I'll do is go back to the thumbnail in ChatGPT and update the picture, and then re-upload the thumbnail. Just change the thumbnail. That way I can schedule them better. So I think absolutely, I love that blue that's there. It goes really well with yellow. The yellow looks really good. It came along really cool. I'm gonna finish my juice. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night tonight. Tired, and 2, we'll finish the rest of this tomorrow, and then we'll start outlining it. I really want to get done with it by Saturday, because Monday we're going to start the teacups, because it's Mama's birthday on the 23rd. So I'm going to do the teacups in honor of her birthday. So we're going to do, that's our next one. And I've got that really simple one. We can start in August. I've got the one for Mocha that Christine and I want to do. Guys, I hate to tell you, but I'm not going to change it from Blessed to Crochet to Blessed to Kinusaiga, partly because I probably couldn't say it, but we're going to be testing out a lot for sure. And we may be doing a pumpkin earlier than expected too, as well, especially if I'm going to teach that, show that class with Mama. I'll have to test out the pumpkin so I can get them the pattern, and be able to get them also the amount of fabric people would need. And I just have to decide whether or not to put the leaves on it or not. I like the bow. It just may be the bow and the pumpkin, and then that will get people started to know how to do it. So we'll see. We will see and debate. I think I could probably do it with what I have. I may need to go back to the store, just an excuse to go back there and get some fall. They have fall fabric, and if I get fall fabric and I get it in 1/4 yard, a fourth of a yard of fabric, then I can tell people you need, you know, 6 1/4 yards. I mean, they wouldn't even need 6, but um, you know, a fourth of a yard, 4 or 5/4 of the yards of, you know, fabric for the pumpkin, and then you know, either one, the background of the pumpkin being the same or different colors for the background. You can also bring in fabric scraps and so forth. So we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. Happy birthday, Sandy. Um, with that being said, guys, remember to be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And you don't even need a seam ripper to crochet that connection. And we will do part 5 tomorrow. Are we in part 6? Part 6 tomorrow. We're going to finish the rest of this and then start outlining it. And then I think Saturday we can do part 7 and finish the outline and then put the eyes on it. And then I think we're supposed to get our miter box tomorrow. So then we can start trying out the wood sticks for the frame and the flag and moving forward. So anyway, we're going to be doing a lot more of this, but it's not all about this. It's about coming in and connecting with each other. That's the main focus of this channel, and it will always be the main focus of this channel. I love each and every one of you, and we'll probably try to do Mocha sometime in August. I'm going to work that out with Christina. I love you all. See you later. Have a great night, and remember to just go on a journey sometimes. You never know where it's going to take you or what blessings it's going to provide for you down the road. So we love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. See you at 7 tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.